Dan, please tell the shoebox story so everyone knows exactly who we're dealing with here when it comes to food.
There's a lot of these kind of stories, just so you know.
It's a lot of shoebox stories. You're going to need to narrow.
No, there's a lot of weird just stories in general. It's a short story. There is a summer that I was subleasing an apartment in Lawrence, Kansas between school semesters. And I was just at this place for like 3 months. And I didn't want to pay for paper plates because to this day I just use paper plates all the time. I hate washing dishes, so I just use paper everything. But I don't know if I was just low on money this summer or something, but I wanted to save money. And all I ate all summer was Oscar Mayer cheese dogs. So I would just buy just 8 packs of cheddar dogs or cheese dogs.
Yeah.
And these are hot dogs with cheese inside. Right?
Yeah,
they're absolutely delicious. Yeah. And instead of using paper plates because they were too expensive, I just had a shoebox, and I just kept throwing cheese dogs in there and microwaving them and eating cheese dogs out of a shoebox.
A shoebox or the same shoebox?
I didn't have like a stash of shoeboxes.
Okay. Just want to confirm
I remember
here.
I would put paper towels down just so it wouldn't get too greasy. I mean, it was gross. It was gross for sure. But that was
you're putting paper towels down to kind of keep it from getting too bad.
Yeah, I was a cost-conscious college student.
I probably would have just gone with just the paper towels.
Yeah, I guess that would work too. I guess I wanted to keep it from rolling off, or I don't know what the hell I was doing. But
were you using buns, or were you just like cheese dog just straight up?
I think it was always weird because the buns would come in packs of 10 and the dogs were in 8. So there were times where I'd have too many buns or too many dogs.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was a problem. But I made it through at that time. Or I was playing a lot of Ryckert at that time. Mm-hmm. So a lot of Ryckert and cheese dog.
Ryckert and cheese dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that summer of 05 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Now we all know. Man.
Except that I would have used the shoebox lid.
That's smart because that would keep it from rolling out and stuff. Yeah.
And I maybe would have even not used that and just gone paper towel and just hoped that it wouldn't roll.
Yeah. I had the shoebox. I'm resourceful.
Yeah, might as well use it.
Your local Goodwill or Salvation Army likely to sell plates for probably 30 to 50 cents a piece.
It wasn't the cost of because I think I had actual plates,
probably
like ceramic
spent
plates.
more on the paper towels than
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I know I had like real ass plates, and I still do. I just never use them because you got to clean them. Here's the way you do it: is because I found it was always hard to find plastic knives just by themselves. Mm-hmm. They always came in boxes with the spoons and forks, and so I go through a lot of knives just for peanut butter and stuff. And so I just went on Amazon one day and I bought a box of 1,000 plastic knives, and that was like 4 years ago, and I still have a lot of plastic knives.
It's
like a box I have to move when I move.
That's one time I went to Wendy's and
also when you go to Taco Bell, ask for like 30 things of fire sauce and just keep them in a drawer and put them on eggs, put them on whatever. That fire sauce is great and it's free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me you're recycling all those knives.
Are they recyclable? I don't even know what's recyclable.
I have to imagine they are.
I'm eating using spoons and forks made out of corn?
Yes.
So technically I could eat the utensils.
I wouldn't recommend
the ones you have probably aren't.
I wouldn't
the ones
say
we have here.
Yeah, the ones here.
Yeah, the tan ones.
So I could just eat the spoons and forks here?
I don't think that's a good idea.
But I mean, it's food.
It's processed in such a way that might be a bad idea. But,
Okay.
Legally, I can't tell you to do that.
I like a bargain, Jeff, and if I can just eat the utensils here.
I mean, think of all the food you could just not buy. You could stop going out to lunch and just I had 5 forks for lunch.
Oh, my fucking
I'm eating a fork with a fork.
Yeah.
I don't know if I
A bowl of forks.
I got this bowl of forks here.
You're eating forks with a spoon.
I grind them up. You grind them up, you put them in a smoothie.
See what happens, and there's a fucking...
They'll get melty.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the rest of his shit talking?
Sure.
We've kind of covered the meat of the message here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Please either keep your resident food racist on a shorter leash or at least parlay the embarrassing situation into new premium content where you force him to eat food cooked for people with a palate more complex than a 6-year-old's.
Speaking of embarrassing food stuff, can I tell maybe my most embarrassing food story? Just
Please.
give him some more ammo?
Yes.
I want to give him some ammo.
Absolutely.
All right. Some people that know me have probably heard the story, but I don't know if any of you have heard the egg white story. I'll debut that one on Giant Bombcast.
Okay, yeah.
This is a true story from about, I want to guess, 2008.
It's a good start.
I was I kind of go on like healthy kicks or whatever, where I'm like, I'm going to eat real good and, lose some weight and stuff. And I read that egg whites were really healthy for you. And so I was in my apartment, and I'm not much of a cook, certainly wasn't back then, but I took a pan and I put it on the thing, and I turned the heat up to medium or something, and I told myself I was just going to eat the egg whites. I wasn't going to have the yolk because I heard that's high cholesterol, and I had some pretty high cholesterol at that time.
Okay.
And so I took 5 eggs, I took them over to the sink, I cracked it on the edge, I dumped the entire egg contents into the sink, and threw the shell into the pan. Because I assumed that the egg whites were, the shell is white.
The shell is white.
Yeah.
I'll back you up on that.
There's no arguing that.
I'm getting all tingly over here.
So I threw 5 eggs away and threw the shells of 5 eggs into a pan. And I'm staring at them, and I'm waiting for them to look edible. And I'm like, at some point they're going to like melt and look scrambly or something. Or maybe like I take a spatula and I'm starting to poke away at the shells. Maybe it's like, maybe if they get into smaller pieces, they'll get melty quicker. So I break them all up, and it just looks like a bunch of eggshells in a pan.
Yeah.
I'm scooting it around with the spatula. It's not doing anything. I call my mom up, and I was like, Mom, I'm trying to make egg whites here, and like these shells are not melting. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's just the shells. I don't know if I need to turn up the heat or whatever. She's like, what do you mean the shells? I was like, the whites. And she's like, no, the whites and the shells, you don't eat the shells. And that was the first time I tried to make egg whites.
Oh, my God.
I do them right now.
That's incredible.
I have them for breakfast now.
That is truly incredible.
I can learn.
You toss the yolk?
Yeah, I crack it now, and I do the thing where you slide them back and forth. And
Between the two halves of the shell?
Yeah, and then all the whites come out into a bowl, and then you dump the yolk. And the shell. I throw the shell away now.
You never just done like the carton of egg beaters or whatever? Like
I've done that, but then I heard it's not as healthy or something.
That weirds me out. It's just like, here's like a zillion eggs in a carton.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know. There's something.
I'll do the extra work just to do it right.
Crack it open and drink it down.
Oh, like Rocky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Yep. So that's that. So if you want some ammo for me being a food idiot, there you go.
And what did you just buy with your trade-in money?
Fucking Drew with his Drew's got this crazy Jedi trick to where he can make me buy anything. Apparently, he made me buy this book that I don't even know what it's about. About old man's war, and now he just made me spend $200 this morning on a Savio Vega machine or a Sausalito maker or what the hell is it called?
Sausalito maker?
Sausalito Vega? A Savio Vega? What? I'm guessing it has to. You have to be talking about sous vide.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, sous vide.
But I'm
not
gonna-
even fucking close
I'm gonna
with
call
the
it-
words that you said.
I'm going to call it a
S's and
Sausalito
V's,
maker.
I don't know.
Sausalito is a place in California.
Can't wait to get
Savio
home.
Vega sounds like the dude who played like Rahul from
He's-
Street Fighter combined with Vega, the character from Street
He's the
Fighter.
guy that feuded with Razor Ramon
Go
in
home,
95.
crack out him a couple beers. I'm going to Sausalito me a couple of steaks.
No, it's some crazy thing you put into a pot and it magically
Yeah,
makes
no.
like
Oh,
meat
yeah,
that's
no,
we
we've-
know what sous vide
We've
is.
discussed sous vide at length on this podcast.
Here's why
before.
it's amazing, though, is because I've always wanted to make just tons of meat at home and eat it for all my dinners, and I never do because I'm afraid I'm going to kill myself if I try to cook meat because I don't know how to cook. But Drew told me you just throw it in a bag and a pot, and you throw this magic wand thing in there, and then it makes perfect meat.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to eat nothing but meat.
You're aware
every night.
You're aware that it's not going to have any like it's. I'm going to describe it in a negative way. I am pro sous vide, but I'm going to describe it in a negative way first. It's going to be basically like gray, like not colored like a steak you cook on the grill, colored, and then you'll cut it and it'll be perfectly temperatured.
I don't
delicious
give a
inside.
shit what it looks
Okay,
like.
cool.
As long
Well, it's
as
not
it
just
tastes
what
like
it
a
looks
fucking
like.
steak.
It's not just what it looks like. It's not going to have any of that nice like sear on the outside.
You know, I think I'm not a picky guy. I just like to eat it, just a big hunk of meat.
I think you'll
and
like
if it's
it.
edible and it's meat, I'm going to like it.
just
I mean,
season
if
it a
you
little
want the
bit.
sear, then you sear it.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Yeah,
that sounds
solves the
confusing.
problem.
You
Jeff-
could actually buy a blowtorch and sear it.
That sounds
way.
like a great idea.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Or you can just throw it on a skillet for like 90 seconds
Yeah.
aside.
Do you guys have some sort of like? Do you get the money you pay Dan back if he dies in the first 6 months? He's trying to kill him in some creative way.
Yeah, we rented him on PlayStation Now. It's like
Oh, come on!
Okay, so the reason I had to have LASIK and also now have to have glasses and contacts is I had normal-ass vision, and then in first grade, for some reason, I thought the idea of glasses were really cool, that it was like some cool, like almost like superhero accessory. Like, oh, I'm going to put these things on my face and I can see really far. And I wanted them,
Yep.
even though I could see fine anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, so I purposely bombed the eye test when they came to my school. And I just bombed the fuck out of it. Like, you know, just like I'd see a giant E. I'd be, man, you know, I just bombed the hell out of it. And so they gave me a prescription for these really strong glasses that I didn't need because I was seeing fine. And I just had to force myself through, like, wearing these glasses as much as I could or could tolerate for a long time until it just fucked up my eyes enough.
How long are we talking? Like years?
This is like first grade, man. I just remember, like, I wouldn't wear them all the time because it would start hurting my head and I just couldn't see, like,
Can you go back and read my email again? I feel like it's now.
yeah, this is real stupid.
When everyone who was like, "Wow, that's a really harsh thing to say to him," like, just read it after this. And it's not
maybe
going to
this
sound.
is maybe if I have one regret in my life, it's maybe doing this because
This is your one regret.
I can see
I don't
that.
have any other ones.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, everything else worked out. So as I got older, it's just I had to keep getting progressively stronger and stronger contacts and glasses to where I was like my contact prescriptions I think were like -7, which if you have contacts, that's pretty
about mine,
damn
yeah.
strong. And so I couldn't see shit. And so in 2007 I got LASIK, and then all of a sudden I've got 2015 vision. It's awesome.
Boom, lasers in your eyes.
Yeah, but then it turns out my eyes were still degrading, and so now they're getting down to the point too where I wear contacts and glasses again. It's nowhere near as bad as it was before LASIK, but yeah, I basically fucked up my eyesight real bad for life because I thought it'd be cool to have like cool things on my face that made me see far.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess that's the one regret.
It must be hard to be a doctor and be worried constantly, like basically being a veterinarian, but for creatures that can talk and lie to you. Like being a pediatrician must just be like, I don't know, this kid could be making all this shit up. Like, how would I know?
I'm gonna guess that the majority of people aren't out there like working against their own self-interests in the doctor's office.
I thought it was going to get me a cool thing.
I'm guessing most people actually